Michigan State baseball gets a 7-4 win over Notre Dame in a midweek game. Huge win for Michigan State. And really, this was a little bit of a kind of return to what we saw Michigan State can be, especially in that really early on series against Louisville. I thought Michigan State had really good play appearances. I thought there was multiple great pitching performances in this one. Michigan State did a little bit more of like a bullpen style game, which obviously when you do that, you never necessarily know what you're going to get. You're really going to want to get out a couple really good innings from your quote unquote starter. And I thought Michigan State got that done with JD Greeley. He had 2 innings to really start out the game, 4 strikeouts. He was throwing strikes throughout his 2 innings. I thought he was really good at his command. I thought he was really making Notre Dame uncomfortable in the backs, and that really kind of continued throughout really the whole night. Now, Notre Dame obviously did end up putting up 4 runs. One of those was off Andrew Everson. Even though it was off of him, I thought he was pitching pretty well. It was just a really nice hit ball down the line that obviously Randy Seymour wasn't able to get to. Logan Peacock had a really nice inning. Josh Klug had a little bit of a rough inning per se, had a couple walks, had 1 earned run, but Gannon Grundman came in and pitched really, really well after kind of putting Michigan State in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation. A lot of base runners on the base pass, but really that was the point where Michigan State kind of needed a little bit of a response, and I thought MSU absolutely got that. I thought the 4th inning was a huge response early on in the game. I mentioned Isaac Sturgess really being one of the best hitters in this game for Michigan State. Got Michigan State out to a 1-0 run with a solo home run in the first. Had a double in the third to give Michigan State a 2-0 lead. Notre Dame was able to respond after that, but the 4th inning was an absolutely massive one. This was when Nick Williams started to get going offensively. A nice double for him allowed 2 runners to score. And then really after that, CJ Deckingham maybe had the most clutch hit in this entire game. And I think besides this one and obviously the Nick Williams home run in the 7th to again extend the lead to 3 for Michigan State, CJ Deckingham had this double in the 4th to give Michigan State a 6-1 lead, which was his only hit on the day, but it was an absolutely massive one. Sturgis was able to score. Cole Vandermeer was able to score. And that's another really kind of part of the conversation I want to have, because this was a really, really cool opportunity, not only for Michigan State and Notre Dame, obviously, to play each other. They've been able to play each other in the past. Coming into this one, I believe Notre Dame's won 2 straight. Obviously, that streak really snaps, but this was an opportunity for the Vandermeers to play against each other. You have to mention, obviously, Cole. He's a freshman at Michigan State, getting an opportunity to play in this game. Had 1 run in this game, 3 player appearances, didn't have a hit, but he was going up against his brother, Chase Vandermeer, and they didn't necessarily get to face each other, which that would have been really cool. But not only that, but their dad is a coach on the Michigan State coaching staff, and I truly think that's awesome that they're able to play each other. You saw a picture of Michigan State post after the game of them 3 getting a picture together. I think that's a really, really cool thing, and obviously end up going Michigan State's way. Chase actually ended up getting a loss for Notre Dame, but obviously it's a cool moment for that family, really cool moment for both the teams in general. But Nick Williams, man, I really want to talk more about him, because what a clutch home run in the 8th inning when Notre Dame had momentum going into it, right? Notre Dame was down 2-6 going into the 7th. Little bit of issues in the 7th, couple of sacrifice flies, and then obviously a wild pitch really kind of got the score to 6-4. Michigan State getting a little bit uncomfortable situation, especially when you were playing so well. I thought Michigan State, for the most part, defensively played pretty good. Michigan State, Notre Dame both kind of struck out quite a bit in this game, but an absolutely massive home run by Nick Williams in the 8th to give Michigan State a little bit more of a comfortable lead heading into the bottom of the 8th and bottom of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th got a little bit uncomfortable as well, but Nolan Higgins just continues to pitch extremely well out of the bullpen. He had 2 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, couple of strikeouts in the 8th and 9th inning that were absolutely massive. Basically, that's what he's been doing. He's a guy that obviously Coach Jake Boss really trusts in those situations. I thought he pitched really well. Gannon Grunman pitched really, really well. Tommy Strapansky did struggle a little bit, kind of put a little runners on the base pass, but he was able to get out of it at times. But yeah, really just a really good overall performance for Michigan State. This is kind of the type of win you hope that kind of gets a little bit of momentum going for them. They've won the first game in series in the past, and then they've obviously been kind of dropping the last two or three. Obviously, this isn't going to be a 3-game series. It's just a short little series this week. Obviously, Notre Dame comes to East Lansing here shortly after this one. So let's see what Michigan State does with that one. But good win for Michigan State. Obviously, really happy for them. They've been struggling pretty mightily recently after that great start to the season. But Gannon Grunman gets his first win on the season. And now Michigan State get to play this weekend. And I think that's really exciting. I'm interested to see how things go with there. But yeah, feel free to like, subscribe, comment if this is something that you like. Hopefully, we'll be covering the Michigan State baseball games going forward. That is more content, more baseball content going forward. So thanks for tuning in this episode and tune in to the next one.